Welcome back, Fire Tribe. We just ended Christmas, so I hope you two had a good Christmas. Anyone out there who celebrates, hope you had a good holiday. Today we're going on a conversation slightly about FPL, probably more about EPL, and frankly more about the sport itself, just in general. And as always, I'm joined here with Dave Farina, Phil Charnley. If you're looking for us, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Fireside FPL, or listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts at Fireside FPL. And if you're watching and or listening and you like what you hear, you like what you see, check out our socials, Instagram, X, TikTok. You know, we're not great on TikTok, but hey, we try our best. If you like the FPL discussion. And if you are on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. It's free. We really, really appreciate it.
Doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you a gosh darn thing. How are you two doing today?
I'm good.
We're good.
Very good. Very good.
Good.
Got to shout out first a very good friend, and second, Fireside Faithful.
Yep.
Sent us these
Luke Collier.
custom-made Yeti Fireside.
Yes,
So
our good friend Luke Collier.
thank you.
Getting out there, hyping up the boys. You can't ask for much more than that.
He's in fourth in our mini league too. So
I know he's good. I know. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna be kind of having a more free-flowing conversation today. Less about the classic FPL that we normally talk about. So what is that conversation gonna be? Well, that conversation is gonna be related to managers, specifically Thomas Frank. But you know, the conversation is gonna be more overarching on just managers in general, how it's being treated in today's sport. You know, there's other managers I'm sure we'll bring up in this conversation. But I think the overarching question is, have the firing and the pressure on these managers gotten too intense, I guess is the way I'll say it. So there's the question. Let's start there and let's just open and just go.
I think it depends on the situation. Like, I think, like, if you're Spurs and they made the Champions League because it was the worst Europa League final that's ever happened.
I kind of forgot.
Like, I think their expectations are pretty high, and I'm not sure that was fair to Thomas Frank because they clearly weren't. Yeah, they clearly weren't as good as a team that qualified
17th.
by finishing fourth or in the top four in the Premier League.
Yeah, they finished 17th.
So I think, like, in his case, I think they're fine. I think he'll figure it out because I think he's a really good manager. He got the most out of Brentford, and they have good players at Spurs.
You think?
I do.
You think?
I think they have.
I think they have a mismatch of crap.
I think they have a good enough squad to finish in the top six.
I don't. I am so. See,
well.
I'm on the opposite end because I think that Thomas Frank's been handed a pretty bad hand, if I'm honest. And they're in 14th, which is better than 17th, where they finished last season. But like, think about it. Who is he brought in? I think you could say he probably brought in Koulibaly. Whatever. I mean, that's like, it doesn't really matter. But like, Mathis Tell got brought in last year. Solanke's been brought in. He's been useless. I mean,
Xavi Simons.
Richarlison's okay. Yeah, Xavi Simons has been a letdown. That's on him. It just feels like they have a mismatch of players. You know, not to mention the face of that club for the last, close to 10 years. I don't know how long he's been there. Son, gone. So he's gone. You lose someone in the locker room. You lose a culture piece, right? Yeah. And, you know, it's kind of like a fire was left for Thomas Frank after a 17th place finish. And I don't know.
That's my point is, like, I think Spurs' expectations and, like, the result is, like, him being on the hot seat are a little misaligned.
I mean,
misplaced, I should say.
People think he might get fired here.
I think that would be stupid. First of all, because I think he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
But like they had to know they weren't very good last year, and it took a pretty unique circumstance to get them in the Champions League. But I also think there's a piece of, like, he was at a smaller club, and sometimes when you see these managers jump from small clubs to big clubs, it takes them a little bit of time to adjust and have success. I mean, you're seeing it with my team right now. We've had a couple when we hired David Moyes. He was at a smaller club, moved to a big one, and didn't quite work out. Yeah. So I think they need to give him time, but I don't know if he's going to get it.
Chip in, Phil.
Yeah, I think it's more of a player issue right now. I do not think they have the right players to
this man
be anything more than mid to mid-high table.
I agree.
If you look at the Tottenham from 5-6 years ago when they had Kane, Son, like even before that, like they always had a couple superstars. I think they're always missing one or two more really great players to be able to battle like the cities or Liverpools or whoever was like the top dog in the EPL that year. But this year they just don't have a single, like their best players probably Van de Ven.
Yeah.
And it's hard to judge him because the team is so chaotic right now.
Yeah.
So like I just don't think they have enough good players. They've let go. Like we were talking to a few Tottenham fans the other day. Perisic, letting him go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was the right decision. He's a tenured, experienced guy who's actually killing
Now, when
it.
you say let go, he wanted to stay. They got rid of him. It's like a Harry Kane situation. He wanted to go.
I don't think they
weren't
were
keeping
willing to meet his demands.
Gotcha. But he would have stayed had they.
I think so.
Gotcha.
From the little I've read about it
yeah.
and talked with some Spurs fans, that sounds like it was the issue, and they're mad at the club for not.
It's a Croatian
Being
Spurs fan you're talking about too, so he may know a little more than your average Spurs fan.
So I just don't think they have the right team. Now, when you think about what Tottenham should do, that's where it gets tricky, right? So.
And I know we're probably focusing a little too much, not too much on Tottenham, but I know that's the focus. So I do want to say, and I'm sorry for any Tottenham fan out there. You may get mad at me with this comment. This is not just a Tottenham thing. This happens in sports and teams all the time. I think they should be higher than maybe everyone else thinks. Like their sites, and they should be. Your site should be at the top, but like I think they think they're a top 4 like club, just like every year they should be, and I just don't think that's true. Like I don't think they're on Man City's level. I don't think they're on Arsenal's level. I don't think they're on Liverpool's level. I think they're closer to an Aston Villa level. They should fight for those spots, but like they shouldn't expect to be in those spots every year. That's my opinion. That's just an opinion.
You know, they also finished second in that title race with Chelsea.
How long ago was that?
That's when 6 years. That's when no, it wasn't with Chelsea. It was with Leicester. It's when Leicester won the league. It's just funny that the one time they could do Leicester went on this like miraculous
probably the most
run.
miraculous thing I've ever seen. Yeah, but like it's been that many years, and like same with Villa. Like they expect to be there, but it's not always going to happen. And again, you want to shoot for the stars, but like I just don't think. I think they should. Their expectations in reality are probably like between 8 and 5 is where they should be finishing probably every season. Then shoot higher.
I semi disagree because you think about United, they haven't been good either, but they have the history where you
they have the history of
them to be good.
One coach. Take away one manager, and United's basically useless.
Okay. Yeah, do that for every team that's ever.
I said that.
That's half their history.
I said that because I saw.
Coach,
You do that for City. Like without.
No, I saw on Instagram, and some fan of another team was like you take away the best manager they've ever had, and listen, they were crap before, they're crap after.
Hell of a British accent.
It wasn't good. That was like I don't know what the hell that was, frankly.
No, but if we want to,
Don't judge me.
any comments or notes on that from you?
What, Man United?
I was joking.
I know you were joking.
No, just in general, because Man United's moved off of a lot of managers versus maybe just realizing, hey, we need to kind of rebuild a team.
Which I think they're
sign the
doing a
right
little
players.
bit.
They're doing.
I think they're kind of doing it right now.
It takes time.
It's kind of working. It's like you're on the fringe of working.
Well, we had the worst owners in the history of sports for
the
Glazers.
Glazers
For
Tampa Bay.
a good amount of time, and that kind of ruined any coherent squad building that you might want to do for a coach. But United, they tried some proven managers like Van Gaal, Mourinho, and looking back on it now, actually got pretty good results compared to what they've been the last year and a half,
Mourinho
2.5 years.
Mourinho did pretty good.
I think United are maybe on the right track. I don't know. I could do half an hour on just this topic, but like Amorim, for example, the formation aside, I think if you hire a guy like that, I guess not formation aside, how he plays and the style, and he needs really specific players for it to work. You have to give him some time. Now, I expect that you would finish better than 15th since it's Man United. That's unacceptable. Playing relegation level football for but they've been a little bit better But
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But I do think these coaches that move from smaller clubs to big ones, unless you're City, Arsenal, Liverpool, need to be given time because you know what you signed up for.
So here, and this is I'm fully on that, and this is the only piece for me that sends it back the other way a little bit. I think the pressure is outrageous. More than the firings, the pressure, after 10 games, when you start to pressure a coach as much as they may be doing with Frank, now it's well, I can't be inventive, because if I'm inventive and I lose a game, it's just one step closer to being done. You have to support your managers as much as any sport. Your coach, your manager, you should be supporting them until you're ready to fire them, and then okay, turn it around. But at the same time, we're talking about a business. End of the day, it's a sport, but it's a business for these clubs. They're paying these guys a lot of money to get results, so I get that piece. But it's okay, keep going through your coaches, keep going through your managers. You're never gonna get anywhere. Yeah. And let's bring up my favorite manager in the world.
I think that because
Alonso's getting pressure. That man. You can talk about it more, but he's working with a team. He did well at Leverkusen with a bunch of smaller players. Now he's working with superstars in the world, and it's not his players, and he is getting wrecked over there.
I think again, just one quick note on Tottenham. I don't think any coach can do anything better than mid-table with those players. It's
Agreed.
For me, that's an easy decision for Tottenham. They just need to invest in better players or develop better players. When you look like a team like Madrid right now, the way Leverkusen was playing, I myself and probably a lot of Madrid fans, the president, the board, when they brought him in, it's oh, Madrid's going to play like Leverkusen.
Absolutely not.
What's the problem?
No.
Half the players on Madrid don't know or can't play like he had his team in Leverkusen playing. Vinicius, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, all those guys, their natural instinct and how they play and how they've played for the last 6 years isn't anything like the idea and culture Xabi Alonso is wanting to instill in them.
Mm-hmm.
So now what do?
You let him build a team.
You let him build a
but
team.
Of course, he doesn't bring money in like those guys do.
The two questions there is, can those players turn into I could see him turning Tchouaméni into someone who can play a little quicker, a little better. I don't think Vinicius.
You have to buy into the culture.
You have to,
of team. It's a team thing. There's no me.
Exactly.
Team. Wirtz, before he got huge, he was okay with it because he was young. Team. That was all Leverkusen did.
And if you don't have players that can, bring that idea and that culture to light, then it's, do you get new players, or do you bring in a different coach that can make something happen with how the current players play? And I think that's what's happened with Xabi Alonso. I don't think the president wants to get rid of all these superstars. They don't fit his culture and idea. From a business standpoint, it's probably easier just to replace Xabi Alonso than replace, even Mbappe probably doesn't really fit into it. Mbappe, Vinicius, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde doesn't fit into it because he's not a fluid player with a great touch. So
probably wasn't a great hire, hindsight being 2020.
Or do you believe that he could change? I don't. Or do you give him time and he develops them? That's the big question.
I think he goes to Liverpool.
I don't agree with it from a business perspective. It's easy to get rid of Thomas Frank and say, let's see what this other random dude can do with this team.
Yeah.
Same with Madrid. That's what United's been doing until now, where they finally we need to buy good players too. So it's just purely business right now, and I think the coach it's one person versus.
Sean Dyche comes in, like say Nottingham Forest, this isn't working, let's get someone else. Sean Dyche is here. Okay, he had a little boost, I think, which it feels like most teams do when they get a new manager. They get a little weird boost that always happens. Well, it looks like they're back to normal.
Yeah.
They're back to being bad. So, again, managers are great. But when you're working with, crap sometimes, it's just, you gotta improve the players first,
I mean, Madrid can't go hire Carlo Ancelotti again. It's not an option this time.
Go get Zidane. That guy's chilling. He's not coaching, right?
Alonso's going to have to figure it out. I think that's the only option. You can't sell enough big players to build the squad to fit the way they would play at Leverkusen. He's just going to have to figure it out.
I think Alonso's in Liverpool. I think he's in Liverpool soon.
You need to give him time. Then what? I'm just accepting defeat for this season and even next, and be maybe in 3-4 years, Madrid can be incredible because they have young players. But you have to accept that. You have to be. I mean, that, and back to your point, I think that's what was great about before is a big club could have 2 or 3 losing seasons, but as long as they're on the right path, no one was burning fires and firing.
What have you done
like,
for me lately? It's the whole culture of the world. What now? Like,
I'll flip the question: do you think social media, all these TV channels, all these sports shows, all these podcasts like Fireside FPL, check us out on YouTube, talking about this stuff brings that light and gives that additional pressure because of all the business deals?
More talking heads.
Yeah, of course. The more talking heads rip on a team to get clicks, the more people are clicking, the more people are getting mad, the more they're yelling at their club, and it's just a circle over and over and over again. One of the issues is, even if your team does do okay, the talking heads need something to talk about. Yeah. So they're going to find a way to rip on something that's going wrong. Thomas Frank is doing an okay job, but there's a lot of things going wrong, and the talking heads are going to pick those things apart because that's their job. That's what they get paid for, right? So, I think it's all a circle, but I just think it's just too much. And like, for me, I'm okay. I follow Leverkusen. They are a smaller club, so they don't go through this problem. But like, if I'm a fan of Tottenham and I see reports that Thomas Frank is under fire, I'm like, please don't. Just like, for the love of God, you saw what he did at Brentford. You saw how they started the season. Like, there's an opportunity here if you get more than Paulinho and Van de Ven. Like, get more relevant players. Like, Richarlison's fine. He's not a starter.
They need a center forward.
Like, Richarlison's okay. He's been doing okay.
So being injured, like, that's
Richarlison's also a shithouser. So, guy's a real jag off. But I just, Romero, like, these guys are fine, but they're not 90-minute players every week. Give him a chance. Give Frank a chance. Oh, that's so unprofessional.
Sorry.
That's so unprofessional.
Jesus,
I do feel like they have a good, almost like backbone of a few 3-4 players. You just need some more quality players around them. They have like those strong, like Van de Ven, Romero, Paulinho, like those guys could be like the core of the team there that, bring that passion, that energy, that structure, that experience. Maybe not as much Van de Ven, he's still young, but they need better players surrounding that to create chances.
And to flip that around, there's also a science. There's a science about not getting rid of someone too early, just as much as there's a science about getting rid of someone at the right time. Some teams on the flip side keep a guy for not as much in football. I don't know. I can't think of a manager that's kind of stayed around way past his due date. But it happens a lot in American football. We are fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we see, regardless of what he's done, like there's always, I'm just saying in general, like sometimes things get stale and clubs are afraid or teams are afraid to move on from these guys because they're close to, like, they like the success portion, even though it's not great. So, I'm just saying there's a flip side of it. Don't get rid too early. Don't get rid too late.
Yeah, you just have to know when the perfect time to change managers.
And that's easy, and that should be easy.
Yeah.
That should be easy.
Just watch us.
Just listen to us, and we'll tell you.
Don't fire Thomas Frank.
Don't fire Thomas Frank. Fire Alonso because he can come back to Leverkusen.
Please don't.
He can come to United.
No. If anything, he's going to Liverpool. Let's all be honest about that. The second Alonso becomes available, Arne Slot better have his bag packed. He gone.
But I think Liverpool is the other fun example. Like, they kind of went through hell with Salah. Ever since they've kind of like separated, and like Salah's probably going to be gone here soon. Yeah, they've looked like a more structured team.
They look okay.
A bit better.
They look all right. So I can. Vert's finally got a
goal involvement,
a return.
Look at you, Florian.
Florian's
Good
back,
job.
baby. Florian's back.
Weird.
That's just weird.
It's weird.
It's not that weird.
Strange.
All right, that was a good conversation, boys. I think. It's a good place to wrap it. Any other final thoughts on this one?
I was just going to say, let us know in the comments, especially Spurs fans, what you think.
Yeah, let us know if you think the culture of the sport today is getting a little out of hand with these manager firings, manager hirings, right? Let us know what you think about it. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll respond. I promise. And if we don't, I'll hit Dave in the face next episode
with a hot wing.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
All right, and with that, see you.
Bye.